Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from mychartcoach.com, and we're going to take a look at the copper, gold, the dollar, oil, and steel and basic materials. And so first let's take a look at this FCX chart. First things off, notice that RSI is in the 50 to 70 bull zone at 65, so there is room to run. Fasto is now above 80, it's at 90 in the overbought power zone. So FCX can head higher above 80. If you look here, plus DI is breaking out on ADX. Notice the green line is pointing up above the black and red line, so that is bullish. The development this week was a close above high close horizontal resistance. If you look here in November, the third week of November was the high close to break, and that level was broken this week with the close above. And in this video, each of these charts is going to be a weekly chart, and so each chart's going to represent each candle on each chart is going to represent 1 week of time frame. And so this week, this candle broke out above the previous high close, which was back here in the third week of November, and so that's signaling more upside potential. Notice that FCX is on a multi-week run, on a 4-week run. The upper Bollinger Band at 1776 is the next key level to break. Our next target is going to be the 200-week moving average at 2108. It looks like it's heading that direction. Notice that this uptrend started on this candle back here in November with the close above the middle Bollinger Band and the 100-week simple moving average. As long as the candles keep riding EMAs 4 and 8 higher, this uptrend should continue. There was a nice volume spike. There was a MACD bullish crossover in November on the 12, 26, and 9, and then you can see here on the 8, 13, and 5 there was a bullish crossover looks like 2 weeks ago. So this chart is still strong, still moving forward. There's a very good uptrend going. Okay, let's look at GLD. Okay, this is the Spider gold shares, and notice first off that RSI is below 50, so it's not in the bull zone. Notice there was a bearish crossover on Fasto. Notice the black line crossed the red line to the downside. That's showing that the bears are taking control. You have a downtick on minus DI and an uptick on, or a downtick on plus DI, the green line, and an uptick on minus DI, the red line. That's showing that the bears are taking control. There was this bullish crossover down here, but bulls do not want to see the green line cross the black line to the downside. That will signal more downside risk. Bullish development on this chart 2 weeks ago. There was a parabolic SAR bullish flip. Notice the green dots flip below the candles. That also correlated with this black candle that formed. GLD was on a multi-week run, and then it closed right above this 100-week moving average. Check out the gold line here. But last week it failed to hold that level and it pulled back. And so right now this EMA 4 and 8, notice how they are converged at the same level. If there's a close below that level, that's going to signal downside risk, and we could see GLD dropping back down and testing this 108 support. Notice the lower Bollinger Band is way down here at 104. So if you get below EMAs 4 and 8, besides the horizontal resistance or support lines, the lower Bollinger Band is the next level of support. So there could be a big drop. So gold traders really want to see a close above the 100-week moving average, and then in order to get a new uptrend going, it's going to have to close above the middle Bollinger Band here at 116. If it can get above the 200-week moving average and the 50-week moving average, then it could really get moving again. Right now, GLD is in a downtrend. I know the gold bulls have been all fired up lately, but this is this bounce down here in December into January was really only a short cover rally. As you can see, when GLD broke middle Bollinger Band support in October, this downtrend started. So the upper Bollinger Band, or the middle Bollinger Band, is the top of the downtrending channel. It hit the top of the channel and it's pulling back, and the bottom of the channel is the lower Bollinger Band. So there's big downside risk if GLD does not bounce next week. Notice MACD is pinched, so keep an eye on MACD on the 12, 26, and 9. If the MACD line crosses over the signal line to the upside, that's going to be a signal the chart is heating up. If the MACD line fails to cross over the signal line, that's going to signal downside risk. Notice the 8, 13, and 5 already had a bullish crossover. Okay, let's look at the next chart. Let's look at USD. How is the US dollar doing? Okay, so everybody correlates the gold with the dollar. Notice here USD is in the 50 to 70 bull zone here on RSI, so it's in the bull zone. It's also in the bull zone on Fasto. So both of these indicators corrected from overbought levels, and now they have juice to run. So bulls want to see both indicators stay above 50. Notice there was a bearish crossover down here on ADX. The red line crossed the green line to the upside, so that was showing the bears taking in control, taking over control. If you notice here, there was this. There's been a 5-week downtrend. Notice all these red candles in a row. There was a parabolic SAR bearish flip. Notice the green dots flipped above the candles on the second week of January. And so that was a red flag. That was signaling downside risk. The candles came all the way down. And then look at the lower wick on last week's candle. It bounced off the middle Bollinger Band. That is always the key support level to hold for uptrending stocks. USD has been in an uptrend, or currencies or commodities. It's the key for any chart. To be able to hold the middle Bollinger Band. That signals that there's an uptrend is still intact. And now the bounce off the middle Bollinger Band, if that level holds, bulls want to see USD get back above EMA's 4 and 8. If it can do that, it can run back up to 103. If it fails to break EMA 13 resistance, you're going to see a retest of this middle Bollinger Band. If the middle Bollinger Band breaks at 99, you could see a drop down here to the 50 and 100 week simple moving averages. Now that would be a big drop. Notice they are pinched. If the 100-week crosses the 50-week to the upside, that's going to be signaling that the chart is losing strength. If you look down here, there was a MACD bearish crossover. So MACD started crossing over on the 12, 26, and 9, and it had already crossed over on the 8, 13, and 5. Okay, those are red flags that a possible downtrend is starting. So this is going to be a really important week for USD. Bulls are going to want to see a bounce off of that 100 support level, that 99 to 100. If it fails to happen, you could see a drop down to 97. Okay, now let's look at USO. United States Oil Fund is right now RSI is in the 50 to 70 bull zone. Notice it's at 53, so there is it does have juice to run. Our Fasto corrected from overbought levels. Now it's at 75, so it's in the bull zone as well. If you look here at ADX had a bearish crossover like USD with the red line crossing the green line to the upside. So bulls want to see that green line cross back above the red line. If you notice here, and this is another weekly chart, all the charts on this video are weekly charts. USO has been trading in this sideways channel for the last 10 months. And the top of the channel is 12 and the bottom of the channel is 950. So at 1140, it's near the top of the channel. Now notice the candles are above the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-week simple moving average at 1080. So as long as those support levels hold, there is still upside potential. It has to break 12 to get high, to head higher. If 12 fails to break, you're just going to see a continuation of this pattern. If there's a break below the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-week simple moving average, you're going to see a drop back down to the support level, which is at 950 here. And you can see here in August it hit, and then again in November. And so that's going to be the key level to hold. That is also the lower Bollinger Band. So you can see there's a really clear pattern here. The upper Bollinger Band is the top of the channel. The lower Bollinger Band is the bottom of the channel. The middle Bollinger Band is in the middle. And it's pretty much playing out textbook perfect. You sell 12, reload 950. You try to sell off the spike at the middle Bollinger Band, fell to break. You can work this channel as it's trading sideways. Right now you're in the middle, so there could be a push back up to 12. If it gets above 12, then 13 is going to be the target. So if it breaks below and then this lower Bollinger Band breaks, you could see a drop down to 8, down to the support here. There was this huge volume spike down here in the third week of November, and the last week of November, and so there was a lot of money entered the trade, but then look how the volume just dropped off. So as USO has been trading sideways, notice that the volume has been very, very low. So keep an eye out for a volume spike. If there could be a green volume spike to push through resistance, or there could be a red volume spike if the chart breaks down. Notice MACD is pinched on both time frames, and so if there's a bearish crossover on the 12, 26, and 9, that's going to be a red flag. The chart is breaking down. The chart is already starting to break down on the 8, 13, and 5. So and check out the PSAR dots. They're below the candles right now. If the share price drops down to 1050, the dots could flip above the candles. Okay, now let's look at a couple of stocks within these sectors to get a look to see how they're doing. And this is the CLF chart. This is a weekly chart as well. Notice here we have RSI in the 50 to 70 bull zone, so that's looking really good with juice to run. It's same thing with Fasto at 68s in the 50 to 80 bull zone with juice to run. So both those indicators look good right now. There was this bearish crossover back here in November on ADX. Bulls want to see the green line start heading back to the upside. What's been happening on the CLF weekly chart is there's been this consolidation sideways pattern for the last a couple months as it's been trying to break this 10 resistance. And what needs to happen here is EMAs 4 and 8 need to hold along with EMA 13. EMA 13 is the big support level right now. If it breaks below that, it could drop down to the middle Bollinger Band. What bulls want to see is they want to see a break above this 10-week moving average here at 1056. If there's a break above that, then you could actually see a breakout going towards this 300 at 2418. Fail to break the 200-week moving average in this 10 resistance zone, and then the middle Bollinger Band could be tested. As long as the middle Bollinger Band is holding, this uptrend's intact. If the middle Bollinger Band breaks, then you could see a drop down to this 50-week moving average. Notice there was a bullish crossover here. The 50-week crossed over the 100-week to the upside, so that was a signal that the chart is building strength. There's been a really strong uptrend since the low down here near $1 at the beginning of January, and now this is up, big time. It's up to, went from $1 to 10 in the course of a year. This is a huge gainer, and basically, as long as this pattern continues, the uptrend should continue as well. So all we're looking for now is we're looking for a breakthrough resistance, and we don't want to see support break if you're a bull. Notice MACD is pinched down here. If there's a bearish crossover on MACD, that will signal downside risk. It already crossed over on the 8, 13, and 5. Okay, now let's look at the final chart, and that is GSS. Okay, this is a gold mining chart. This is another weekly chart. It's in the 50 to 70 bull zone here on both indicators, so that is good. Both indicators are in the bull zone with juice to run. You have the bulls in control up here on ADX, but notice it is pointing down. So bulls want to see the green line stay above the black and red lines. This is another one of those consolidation patterns. Notice that this has been trading in a channel for multiple months between this horizontal resistance line and horizontal support line. And so basically what's going on here is notice this 50-week moving average. Check out how it bull crossed the 100-week moving average, and there was a golden cross over the 200-week moving average, and now it's heading on a path for this 300-week moving average. So notice we're coming to a flex point. The candles here are either going to break 50-week moving average support, or they're going to break 300-week moving average resistance. If there's a break above the 300-week moving average, then that's going to signal more upside potential. That's going to put this dollar on deck. Notice dollar was the high close. If it can get above $1, then it could really get going. If it fails to break the 300, then you're going to see the 50-week moving average tested. If the 50-week moving average breaks, you could see a drop down to the 200. So this is, the chart is holding right now. The candles are forming above the middle Bollinger Band. This is a sideways channel, and the candles are hitting the top of the channel. So the top is up here at 85 or so, and the bottom, 85.90 is the top, and then down here in the 65 to 70 is the bottom. And so basically it's at the top. It needs to bust through resistance to head higher. Notice there was this giant volume spike the second week of December, and the candles have been trying to work higher ever since. So it does look like there was some heavy loading. You can see off the lower wick here. So this could push higher. Keep an eye on GSS. What you want to do is look at this MACD on the 12, 26, and 9. Notice how many times it failed to break over. If it crosses over, that's going to be your signal that it's heating up and the chart's building strength. It already crossed on the 8, 13, and 5, and there also was a parabolic SAR bullish flip. Notice the dots had been above the candles for multiple weeks, actually months, and then they finally flipped below. So yeah, keep an eye on GSS for potential breakout. Okay, thanks for viewing this video. If you like these charts and technical analysis and you'd like to learn more, please check us out at mychartcoach.com and our YouTube channel at mychartcoach.com. Thank you.